Hey over there, Joe Lunchbox.
Julie Nightingale.
And today we've landed right here in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Do you see that behind us? It's the Mothman. That's right. We have finally made the trek down to Point Pleasant, West Virginia to tell you the tale of the Mothman. In case you don't know the Mothman, on November 15th, 1966, two couples reported seeing about a very tall, thin man with giant white wings out near an old TNT storage place just north of town. Some people said it might actually have been a sandhill crane that got thrown off course on its migration, but somehow that legend grew and changed into that creature right there, the Mothman. Only two sightings, really. And then there is a tragedy we'll tell you about the Silver Bridge right here that collapsed a year later, and people blame the Mothman. But this town embraces it. I feel Mothman is one of the best known cryptids. They actually even have a museum dedicated to Mothman here in this town. So we are going to walk around town, show you everything there is to see about Mothman, tell you a little bit about the story, and have a cryptid kind of day. So if you like that kind of thing, we always appreciate if you like the video. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel. Comment down below, what is your favorite cryptid? But it's time to do this. Step right up, let's go for this ride. So the legend goes, on November 15th, 1966, two young couples from Point Pleasant, Roger and Linda Scarberry and Steve and Mary Millette, told police they had seen a large black creature whose eyes glowed red standing at the side of the road. They actually said it might have had giant white wings. And this was near what they call the TNT area, a former World War II ammunition plant. Linda Scarberry described it as a slender, muscular man about 7 feet tall with the white wings. However, she was unable to discern its face due to the hypnotic effect of its eyes. So since with those initial reports, it was more bird-like. However, around that time, in Batman, actually debuting in February 51, so 15 years, was a character named Killer Moth. And Killer Moth, if we look right here, some people took the drawing of Killer Moth for newspapers and created Mothman out of that initial idea. What people were saying was it might have actually been a sandhill crane off migration, was how big they are, and they said red on the face. So this we see is a sandhill crane. And now look at what it became. It's interesting to think how from an initial report it turns into this giant creature. And the statue saying it grew into a phenomenon all over the world with millions of curious about asking the questions, what really happened? What did they see? Has it been seen since? It still sparks the world's curiosity. And this statue was made by sculptor Bob Roche. Do you know the one problem though when you ask so many questions, Joy, like that?
You don't get that many answers?
Oh no, some people might try to silence your answers.
No.
Make you forget what you saw. In fact, do you know who those people are?
Men in Black.
They are the Men in Black. Like the Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones movie, The Men in Black. This is where it all began, the Men in Black. This is where they were talked about before then. Men in Black were people in black suits that came here. People said, were they even really human? They had weird eating habits, but they would come to silent people that saw things to get these Mothman and creatures and cryptids. People don't need to know about them. And when you come see the Mothman statue, you might have those questions, but you better not ask them, because as we pan up and look into the window, we actually have one of the Men in Black watching us. They said they usually travel in pairs, the Men in Black. I don't know where the other one is. The Mothman statue is one of the first things that people come to see when they come to Point Pleasant to see about Mothman. Do you want to know the second thing people come to see when they come to see about Mothman?
The museum?
No, it's the Mothman statue, but
Oh.
I'm not joking. That Mothman has cake. It looks like someone shoved a quarter up Mothman's crack.
Wow. Stop poking the butt.
It's okay, the Men in Black are gonna make me forget that I did it later. Sadly not open by the time we're here, but there's actually What's the scoop? A Mothman-themed ice cream shop. I love it. I love it. I heard you could actually get a milkshake that looks like Mothman in here. Look at that. The world's only Mothman Museum, established 2006. Figure this thing happened in the 60s, and 40 years later, still that popular. We came, took the photos you have to take in front of the statue. Now it's time to check out that museum. And don't worry, it's literally right around the corner. Mothman's got neon. Ooh. And it's interesting seeing the different variations. Like his wings almost look dragonish. And then let's take that idea and make it just cube. I told you the men in black traveling pairs are trying to stop us. He sees me recording, he's pointing and yelling at me. Alright, let's check it out. Oh, awesome. Gift shop with the museum in the back. Some awesome merch. I like Mothman looking like a Mountain Dew bottle. Oh. Is that Mothman versus the Flatwoods Monster? In Point Pleasant, everyone posed with the Mothman statue. Yep, we did.
Just the way it was supposed to be, just like any other thing is.
So many stickers, and you can even ask them about the shiny hiney stickers. Oh, that was my favorite. Plus, what I love is, the time we're here, it's 10 a.m. on a Monday morning. Look how packed the Mothman Museum already is, the gift shop. That's crazy. I would think this on a weekend. World's only Mothman Museum. As soon as you walk into the museum, who or what is the Mothman? See, it says who or what. And some people say, I want to say a large bird. Wildlife biologist Richard L. Smith said it might have been a sandhill crane. And just so you know how much people like Mothman, we even have Grim Life Collective filming in here as well today. What are the chances? We have some dioramas of the old TNT igloos where the Mothman was first spotted. We actually see the power plant torn down in '94. This was the remnants of the West Virginia Ordnance work in the power plant. That's around where he was first sighted. Awesome Mothman costume. He definitely has more bug look than the statue outside with those eyes. In the back room we have where Mothman was seen in some pop culture references. Mothman Tree Festival. There is a Mothman Festival. But look at all the crazy weird stuff over time. Mothman droppings, fiber-rich, boost energy, taste good.
We started chipping away at that, and that ultimately led to the French Navy Award.
And yes, some of you people that love the video game Fallout 76 also know Mothman from the video game. Mothman kite, now that's a cool idea. Joey, we could fly our own Mothman around Valley Stream and people will think they seen it. We have a suit worn by John Keel at the Mothman 2003 dedication. And they said John Keel, the man uncovering the myth. We have a display about him. And you might be wondering, who is John Keel? Why is he important? Why do we have a suit for the dedication of the statue? Well, you see, John Keel in 1960 became obsessed with UFOs. He actually traveled the country interviewing witnesses and conducting his own research. Keel was not disappointed when he got to Point Pleasant. He started to find impossible coincidences and strange phenomena that followed him wherever he would travel. And all this stuff witnesses creating the later was dubbed the Mothman. And Keel stayed in contact with a bunch of the witnesses here as he traveled back from Point Pleasant to his home in New York City to do some more investigation. And unfortunately, Keel says he never had a run-in with the infamous Mothman, but would often see strong lights over the town in Point Pleasant, which he claimed were real UFOs. We actually have some articles on UFOs. Was Mothman an alien? Does it all tie together? Because, you know, Flatwood Monster was an alien. Different comics. This Hawkman, The Call to the Flying, Night of the Owl. Have you seen this man? Man in Black is described by Peter Stevens and drawn by Jen Stevens in Scotia, New York, 1967. Oh, the Men in Black. I feel the Men in Black are more mysterious than Mothman. We have some fan art of Mothman. Mothman and pop culture is displayed in this case.
That happened in Cincinnati. It was like TW.
The script of the Mothman prophecies. If you see something weird that shouldn't be, do you know what happens, Joy?
You get those guys?
Yes, you're right. Here comes the men in black. They're said to drive large and always black old-fashioned cars that resemble Lincolns and Cadillacs with strange logos and insignias. Always well-dressed. Black suits, white shirts, black ties, black shoes, and the skin is without blemishes. They usually travel in groups of 2 or 3 and had a knack for knowing things about witnesses. They would taunt the witnesses. They don't want the facts to come out. That's what I'm saying. Are the men in black the real villains in the story? The next room is called the Harris Hall and Museum Media Room. It's dedicated to Carolina Harris. She owned Harris Steakhouse, better known by some as the Mothman Diner, right on Main Street. And she always would be welcoming to everyone coming in. She opened in 1969. So they wanted to dedicate and keep her memory alive with this little room. We have a menu from Harris Steakhouse, the Mothman Diner. There's a photo of her meeting Mothman himself. Actually have the old sign to the Harris Steakhouse. You think you're safe, Joy? You think you just came to look at Harris Steakhouse? No, we have another Mothman hopping down from the ceiling, attacking my beautiful wife. And there's a phone.
Nick, who are you gonna call?
Not the men in black, I'm called Ghostbusters. But I'm curious, is it just a payphone? Does it ring? Is it something programmed where I can hear Mothman? Now I know all the secrets. But they said if I share them with you, they'd have to kill me, so. I found my favorite thing in the whole museum. Since I feel everything I ever am came from being a kid in Boy Scouts. I met my wife there. I met Spliff the Amazing Amazonian Affliction when he was just Owen Rosa, which led me into the world of Sideshow, which led me down to the path of weird and bizarre. So the fact that we have different 2023 National Jamboree patches that make up the Mothman and other cryptids of West Virginia, this is one of the coolest things I've seen this whole museum. Old t-shirt from Harris Steakhouse had Mothman on it. And even some of the waitresses' outfits. There is a full theater showing a documentary on Mothman.
Sometimes several times a day. At 5:05
Another Mothman hanging from the ceiling. We could peek in to the gift shop next door, which is where the mini golf is. That's right, there is a mini golf course as well. Is it nature trying to tell us something? A piece of driftwood found on the Ohio River on the banks of Point Pleasant. It's a bird-shaped piece of driftwood. Weird and bizarre, I must say. Heading down, talking about the other thing we haven't got to yet is the old Silver Bridge. You see the Silver Bridge built in 1928. And a year after Mothman, December 15th, 1967, at approximately 5 p.m., there was a tragic accident and the bridge collapsed. A lot of people went, oh, is it Mothman? Did he come back 1 year later? But they figured out what caused the bridge to collapse. So, no, it wasn't Mothman that caused the bridge to collapse. Sadly, it was pointed out that it was a failure of a single eye-bar in one of the suspension chains was the primary cause. We have a new newspaper article 2 days after the bridge collapsed on Sunday, December 17th. It says 8 known dead. A lot more than that sadly passed away that day. We have a model of the Silver Bridge and a cable used in the filming of the movie The Mothman Prophecy. In this case, we have a newspaper article showing the 2 bridges before the disaster happened. We have a lot more articles on the bridge collapse. Photos, we have a diver going down to look for people. And in 2002, there was a movie called The Mothman Prophecy. Richard Gere, Laura Linney, Deborah Messing. And that helped bring the Mothman to light to a lot more people, making it more mainstream. We have a bunch of film used uniforms, a blanket from a hotel scene, and a bunch of production photos and things used in the filming of the movie. Ooh, a watch worn by Richard Gere and his chapstick. If I put that chapstick on, my lips would indirectly touch Richard Gere's lips. Would I be a pretty woman then? More Mothman pop culture, a bunch of toys he's seen in. In fact, look, we actually have a VHS of the movie, a VHS copy, even more rare than the Mothman himself. I can't believe this on a Monday. This is bonkers. Bonkers. And you're a dog. Mothman dog tags. If I saw the Mothman, I might be scared to death. I need a Mothman toe tag instead. Fallout 76 made its way to the gift shop. Look, Vault-Tec. Ooh, glow-in-the-dark frisbees. It would look like a UFO if you charge it and fly it at night. You could even bring a Mothman home with you. I am scary and fearful.
So kawaii.
No, I'm not cute. I'm scary and fearful. Grrr.
So kawaii.
Right, do we get a good souvenir find?
Mothman.
Yes, I think so. Stickers, patch, pencil, root beer. Looks good to me. On the wall behind the register, we actually have celebrities that came. Mike Wolf from American Pickers came to see Mothman. One last souvenir to come home with us. Mothman penny. I've never seen this. This is a rare. There's 5 designs to choose from. There's usually only 4. Right there. Is this the one that says Mothman?
Oh, the one that's all the way over there.
Right there. Follow this one away. I usually say the cheapest souvenir you can find, but this has cost me $1.01.
I think the pencil is like the cheapest thing that I got you. Gotta make yourself work for it. Yay.
Got it. And I like double-sided. It says Mothman Museum on the other side. We left the museum. We're gonna make our way down to the Ohio River to show you where the Silver Bridge once stood and crossed, because that is supposedly another Mothman sighting. I mean, the main real sightings were the 2 couples up near the TNT area, but a year later, December 15th, they did blame Mothman for the bridge collapsing. There we have the Ohio River. Never seen this before. It's actually a walled city, so in case there's flooding, they could keep Point Pleasant safe. Painted on the walls showing when Western expansion started to Point Pleasant, and we have some colonists battling Native Americans. I know it's not Mothman related, but it is adjacent to the water, and it is the park we're in right now. So there we have the railroad bridge that still stands, and the Silver Bridge stood right next to it on our side of the railroad bridge. And after it collapsed, that was the new bridge that they had to construct for cars to drive over the river. The sculptor that made the Mothman statue also actually made sculptures here along this river walk. We have Chief Cornstalk, General Andrew Lewis, another one, Lord Dunmore in his kilt there. Routes taken through the wilderness by the Virginians to meet the Native Confederation. We got the tea party. Look at them throwing the tea off the boats. I am loving the murals painted along this wall. Wearing his coonskin cap, we have not Davy Crockett, no, the other one, Daniel Boone. When you think of pioneers, Western expansion, you can't not think of Daniel Boone. Again, wearing a coonskin cap, gun in hand, big Bowie knife. I like the detail of these statues, even has veins in his hands. And he ties in, like he's leading them on this journey. Right along the river, we actually have a plaque for Carolyn Harris, 1942 to 2016. We learned about her in the museum. She owned the Harris Steakhouse, better known as the Mothman Diner. Wow, I didn't know that. That she opened the Harris Steakhouse in 1969, 2 years after the collapse of the Silver Bridge. I knew that part, in which she lost her young son Timmy and his father. Wow. Oh, that's terrible. They said, but despite the tragic events, she always was kind, hospitable, and hard work, dedicating, and never faltered. It's crazy to think another bridge stood right here. And 58 years ago, it sadly collapsed. It really is sombering knowing like 46 people lost their lives in a tragedy here. Mothman really could be found all throughout this town. Even the Mexican restaurant has a Mothman burrito and Mothman margarita. Just a small road now. You see the railroad bridge, but you can picture a big mural of the Silver Bridge. Car coming over it. We actually have a plaque talking about it. The National Historic Civil Engineering Landmark. Silver Bridge collapse and creation of the National Bridge Inspection Standards. Talks on December 15, 1967. At 4:58 p.m., the 39-year-old Silver Bridge suddenly collapsed into the Ohio River during heavy rush hour and holiday season traffic. 46 lives were tragically lost. The cause of the collapse was a single hairline crack in a steel eye-bar in the northern suspension chain. In response to this catastrophe, Congress established National Bridge Inspection Standards. These standards created a rigorous nationwide bridge safety inspection program to detect unsafe structural conditions, prevent future tragedies, and save countless lives. What you reading, babes?
Another memory, little plaque, like it's really tiny. It's just saying, in memory of 46 souls who lost their lives on December 15th, 1967. Still feel a sense of awe and sadness when we hear the name Silver Bridge. And then it says mural committee is Jack Fowler, Tracy Doolittle, and Brian Billings.
Little birds, are you chirping away because you're upset that the Mothman was actually a bird and doesn't get his credit? Lots of things to see going down the main street. It's a cool little town on top of being the home of Mothman. Another cool shop is the Point Pleasant Train Company. They actually have a Mothman mini golf course on the second floor. Oh, Loveland Frogman, all the cryptids. Free selfies with Bigfoot. Awesome. I know, I see the family resemblance too. The store is pretty cool. It's broke up. Like, we actually have the Bigfoot merch section. Joy, I found the souvenir you should get your mom. Weird moms build character. It's the only explanation for you. Just like the cover of Abbey Road, we have Bigfoot, Mothman, Flatwoods Monster, and Alien crossing the street, heading to the Mothman Museum. So, are you a beam me up after the probe or a probing stings type of person? Moon pies in Point Pleasant. I got mooned in Point Pleasant. All the good southern attractions. RC Cola, Stuckies. We're gonna go take a look at the Mothman Blacklight Golf. Wood carved Mothman. We're just gonna take a look at the golf today. It looks like we start off the Men in Black and some aliens. They're definitely going after those aliens, that Men in Black. They're trying to figure out the DNA of Mothman. That has to be the biggest loop-de-loo I've ever seen in a mini golf course. Since Mothman started near the TNT area, we actually have Mothman flying with helicopters, a person busting out of TNT box. I don't think it was this dramatic when they first saw Mothman. Oh, that's cool. The soldiers with the UFO coming down. UFO attacking the military. And we have people running away. We see Mothman in the air. There's fire, there's a fireman. We actually have the Harris Diner represented. There she is, Caroline Harris, in the window. People must have been running. They dropped some stuff from her diner on the course. It's the obstacles. We've entered the contamination area. We have a lot of different cryptids, Mothmans in the air, fighting the Men in Black. More Men in Black. Definitely is a lot more violent story of the mini golf with the Mothman. And And we exit with the cool blacklight Mothman. Ooh. He is cool. I like that his eyes are glowing really bright red.
So upstairs we got this little claw machine. And it's got a little Mothman.
He's far against the back wall. We're gonna try to see if we can scoop him out.
Because I don't know if you're going to be able to get that one over there.
Oh. It's okay, I got a few more quarters. I can't quit now. Look how close we getting him. He's so close.
So now he just needs to do Superman style inside the chute. And for your trouble, you got an extra.
I got an elephant for you and Mothman. So there you have it. The legend of the Mothman. I want to be honest with this one. I'm a skeptic about a lot of stuff, but I want to believe. I want to believe in the Flatwood Monster.
Okay.
I want to believe in Bigfoot. I want to believe in Fiji mermaids, jackalopes. I think it's better not believing in the Mothman. And hear me out. I know this is a hot take. Imagine if it was just a sandhill crane. Look at all the stuff we showed you. Throughout this town, there's a festival. The thousands of people come. There's museums, mini golf. Based on this idea of a Mothman, it would be amazing if it was just one sandhill crane off Migration Path. I just think that would be even cool. Look at the statue behind us. Imagine if it was supposed to be, yeah, they just saw a sandhill crane. And that's what happened. The town embraced it so much. I think that would be even cooler than actually the idea of a Mothman. But I think we can call it
I think so.
the Mothman here on Point Pleasant. Been there, done that. Remember, folks, safe travels
Goody.
and live life. Brum chicka brum brum, brum chicka brum brum, brum chicka brum brum, brum chicka brum brum, brum chicka brum brum. Ben Franklin Company, building gone, just like this ghost sign. For actually mail pouch tobacco. Sometimes you see those on barns, very rarely. You see there's many layers, Gem Saloon painted over it for your wines and liquors. That is a pretty cool sign though. You need to get your photo of the Mothman's butt. There it is! Joy in the butt! Joy in the butt!